Welcome to the Solbrick Show, where I'm building a Lego city with surroundings. A big part of my layout is dedicated to railways, and as you can see, I have this train running right now up in the mountain. It's just a temporary solution though. The locomotive is a shunter and the two cars are older official Lego sets. I want my stuff to be fully custom, and a shunter, or switcher as they are also known as, isn't meant for longer hauls, so they need to go. I do have a problem, and that's that the shunter has the only 9-volt motor that I own. This MOC used to drag a cableway, so it's quite heavy, because it needed a lot of traction to pull stuff. To make it heavy, I used sinkers for fishing. They don't take up a lot of space, and you can customize how many you need to use. I'm going to use these for the new engine as well. Speaking of engines, look, an engine! This book is made by Jan Löv, whose art is the inspiration for my current layout. Ånglok. Steam engine. Jan Löv loves old steam locomotives, as you can see in this book. Just look at this one and that nice tender with a shovel on the side. I'm going for a tank engine so it won't have a tender, and there's a good reason for that that I will talk about later. So subscribe! Now this train has a very bright and cute yellow car, which I think looks amazing in its simplicity, so I'm going to copy that design in Lego form. This spread also has that cozy little train station, which totally gives me an idea. I can use this space that's currently available for development and add a train station there, and somehow connect that to the mountain village and the valley below. If we move over to the scrapyard, we can see that I already have a locomotive there, but that needs to stay. I have a second locomotive, and I could use this for customizing a new one. And if we take a look at this official build, you can see that I kind of busted it, but I mean, that's okay. I put in this magnet at least, so that's kind of custom, but I feel like I need to do more. Man, it's really good looking though. I will have to park it over here. Voila! Whee! As I mentioned, I won't have a shunter for this locomotive. That would be loco for reasons. Instead, I've opted to conceal the motor under this freight car. I went for a simple design. It's fun if it looks a bit cartoony and like a toy. And I have those sinks inside. Mayday, mayday, we're sinking, so we get more traction between the wheels and the rail. This means I can push more cars and that kind of nonsense. I feel the need for speed, so let's move the motorized freight car over to the track. Here we go! That looks funny. Can this thing go faster? Alright, time to add the engine that totally does not have an engine. And add some music. Okay, so since this locomotive is a bit light, it can easily derail when we add too much push behind it. It seems to be taking the curves quite well though, but the risk of derailing gets worse if we would have a tender between the locomotive and the motorized car, so that's why I'm not using a tender for this train. But what about the yellow passenger car? Oh yeah, let's start building that. And this is almost a tutorial where I'm showing you some of the build steps. If I had a Patreon, I could have instructions over there and you would pay me a huge amount of hurdy-dirty money and I would get rich and the inflation would eat all of that wealth and then I would get poor and sad. So the passenger car has this flatbed and let's add walls. Believe it or not, but this sticker comes from set 7936. This is car number 2. You can use stickers from other sets and place them where you want to. That's called freedom, and it's a nice detail as well. I'm using the older, smaller windows that are Jan Löv so that the passengers can get a lovely view at the surroundings while traveling in comfort. A door for safety and for getting in and out. A passenger train needs passengers. Yeah, we got a huge special effects budget. For the side, I'm using these grill pieces as stairs up to the car. So cute. The roof is your standard Lego train car roof with these larger slope pieces. Stable and great. Time to move this train. It goes round and round, and I think this can go faster. Oh, oopsie. Shit. Oh my, damn it. Okay, well, you know, I still feel that I need to customize this even more, because if we take a look at the Lego Locomotive and Jan Lööf's Locomotive, we can see that they do not look at all the same. I think that Jan Lööf's feeling needs to be more exaggerated and accentuated. I've prepared this chassis that's held together with a 2x plate instead of the more common 6 studs wide when it comes to trains. Looks a bit sporty at this stage, but believe me, that will change. I'm using the modern looking boogies. There are other official Lego alternatives, but I simply don't have them at the moment, so I'll have to make this work. On top of the chassis, I do have a 4-stud wide plate with some tiles on. The jumper one with the stud on is important for the tank part. For the tank, I'm using these barrel parts, 2 of them held together with a Technic pin. A problem is that you can't attach anything to the exterior of them, and I do want to have a chimney. That's so important for the steam look. Luckily, Lego has this barrel part with holes on the sides. The other barrel pieces fixate the Technic pin, but this part can spin freely. That has to stop, and that's where those holes comes in even more handy. One of them fits together with a jumper plate, and behind that holds in place with a snot brick. Awesome! Now this looks even more sporty and even a bit Mad Maxy, which is sexy. The look is coming together, but well, this will change, believe me. Let's work on the cabin for the driver. 2 simple plates on the side so we get a wider platform to work with. Here you can see how the tank is held in place, and we're adding 1 more snot piece to cover the gap. For the sides we have 2 slopes that goes in like so, and then these 2 sidewalls with windows. For the front of the cab I'm using smaller modern windows. It's good to see what's going on in front of the cab. For the back we have a panel with 2 small windows on, and I want to make this look chic, so here's a half arch assembly for both sides. Tiles for the roof and curved sleek pieces as well. The tank is still open, like my fly, and I'm covering that with a regular dish piece that attaches to the Technic pin. Time for the chimney that I've stabilized with a lightsaber blade inside. Put that in. Lovely, let's have a look at this from different sides. I think this looks rather smart. Let's pop it in its place. Run, you fools! There's something so satisfying with MOCs, knowing that I made that even if I took inspiration from other sources, but I did adapt it into Lego form. Overall, that's a good way to go about builds, looking at references from real life, art and so on. It's fun to make stuff up as well, but as my old art teacher used to say, paint what you see, not what you believe. I guess he was drunk though. With that said, stay out of the nonsense, stay awesome, and watch out for the helicopter! I'm alright.